It's my beer comb there, buddy.
We put this on tables out in fucking restaurants and everything. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
man. It picks up. It's all about building immunity. Gonna fix my chair here from BGC. Some BGC? No? What that means?
Episode...
Background check.
What?
Episode number 5. Cinco. Rockin'.
Damn thing away from me.
Sorry, let me put my beard comb away. Oh, I just dropped it.
Gross.
I'm gonna wash it. Stop it. Okay.
It's been a long week.
It really has been. Isn't that wild to think about? What you do this week, man?
Work. These weeks are just piling into each other.
I know, right? It's just like we're already in like June.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild to think?
It is. We had a busy week. I think this podcast is going to be mainly more story related towards a lot of these things.
Yeah. What are you doing for Christmas this year? It's around the corner. Before you know it's going to be right around the corner before it.
No.
But yes, that's me going off sidetrack. It's a lot more story based. Let's just start off with the encounter, what we encountered last night, which is wild, okay? Wild. You want to take it away?
Yeah, it kind of made me have a new hatred for Taylor Swift. And I'm taking it fully out on her. This is all her fault.
Oh, just wait.
Teeing this up is that we went to Hoboken last night.
First time in such a long time too.
It's been a while.
We were just commenting on that last night, how like we haven't really been out this month. Mm-hmm. It's been just the weeks going by quickly and everything like that. But we decided to go out to Hoboken with one of our friends last night. Show night. I guess everyone's kind of just away for Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
Down the shore. Out to Hoboken last night. Just walked around.
Yep.
Different bars.
We took the train in, and everything was closing really early last night too. So all the bars we tried to get to. Then we went to a few of them. They were closed. Then we're just like, oh, we might as well leave. And we had like 15 minutes to catch the last train. So we go and get the last train, and we get on, and it takes off. There's no problem. And so when you're in Hoboken, you have to go to Secaucus to get back to where we are too, because we have to go a little bit more north than where we are. And for some reason, the train has stopped for like 5 minutes. I started to notice. I was like, why is the train not moving?
Oh yeah.
And then it goes to like 10 minutes to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And people around us are getting aggravated too. We had people next to us that we were talking to about everything. And we're like, what the hell's happening? And the reason being so is that Taylor Swift had a concert going on, I believe at Meadowlands?
It might have been. She's touring right now, but
maybe in the city or the Meadowlands.
It might have been somewhere near there, but
for some reason we had to wait for the other train from a different town to come by and loop back around and go on a transfer. So we were waiting for, I want to say 45 minutes.
It was a 45-minute wait. Now, mind you, too, no one's telling us, oh, hey, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
Everyone started getting a little anxious. And, these what do you call them? Not conductors. You call them...
Swifties?
Okay. So, the people who come around and collect the tickets, or they click the tickets...
Slaves.
Okay, all right. Call them that. After last night, I got I got berated. Let's just put it that way. I got berated.
Conductees make sense,
yeah,
I guess.
Not the guy, not Tom Hanks from Polar Express, but one of those. Yeah, you know what? Crazy. Yeah, I was waiting for the hot chocolate to come out last night. Guess what? There was no hot chocolate last night. Wanted to come out dancing. I thought that was what they were prepping for, but no. Anyway, so okay,
Sadness.
We sit down and there's a 45-minute delay as to it's 1:15 in the morning now. Okay, we've gotten this around
12:30 maybe.
A lot of people around us that they were waiting for the train to do a transfer. Ultimately, we're just sitting there. And we're like, how can we just start,
Well, no, I got aggressive. I was getting more aggressive because I'm just like, this is so unfair. I was like, why is this happening? And then I thought of an idea. One of my favorite actors, Jake Gyllenhaal,
who's Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend, which is actually, I don't know what song she's written about him specifically, but
I never said it, right? Yeah.
Technically speaking, he not only graced us with the movies he's been in. He also graced you Swifties with the content and music you get today from Taylor Swift's breakup songs. What Nicholas does is when people start to get on the train, okay, from the Taylor Swift concert, all these you could just tell they're glammed up, about to go from this concert. So Nick starts going, Jake Gyllenhaal's my actor. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Yelling at these people, okay? And you could just see everybody starting to get
someone
uneasy.
did turn around. Somebody did look and give me a death stare afterwards.
So I'm just like this guy. So then I'm starting to...
Well, you know what I did too? Along with it too, I said, how can I make this worse? And I started airdropping pictures of Jake Gyllenhaal to people too, and everybody kept denying them.
Yeah, it was just too, because you could see on the airdrop Katie, Caitlin, Jennifer. You can see all these names. Obviously you went to a Taylor Swift concert. you obviously went to a Taylor Swift concert just by your name,
Yep.
okay? But basically, then I start looking up on the web because I'm not really a Taylor Swift person, other exes, okay? So I noticed that, Joe Jonas, So I was like, oh, the Jonas Brothers just released a new album, so here I am like, Joe Jonas is my hero. So me and Nick are going tit for tat, and all these people around us on the train, as we're stopped, because they're probably tired, they're just looking at us like,
you delay me and I mess up you.
Yeah, that's how it's going to work. So then, one of the conductors, I'm going to call them the conductor. I know it's a different name, but the ticket carrier people.
The waiter at the restaurant.
Yes, the people in Polar Express, the hot chocolate, This guy was, he was, a lot of them were getting, like, I don't want to say harassed was the word, but a lot of people who obviously, like me and Nick, we weren't there for Taylor Swift. They kept getting up, they kept going to them. So the one guy who I thought I was cool with, or me and Nick were cool with, I was trying to make a funny joke, so then he looks at me because we're at the very end where like one of the openings were for like to get on.
But you stick out where everybody sees you too.
Yeah,
so you
my life's a joke. If you guys haven't heard already in the podcast episodes, we're already 5 episodes in from today when we're filming. A lot of things happen to me, okay? If Nick says it, we'll walk in the park. Oh yeah, thanks man, haha, you're funny. Me, what you mean by that? Okay, I'm gonna get into it. So the guy, he's getting berated with all these different questions. People are getting upset. When's the train leaving? X, Y, and Z. So then I start going off. I look at the guy, make eye contact with him because he already checked our tickets prior to the whole thing happening. And I go, are you a Swiftie? And he looks at me. He goes, oh, no, that's you. You are Swiftie, huh? You're a Swiftie? I'm like, whoa. I'm like, no. I meant it like as a joke. He goes, nah, that's what you are, right? That's what you are. That's what they call you guys, you people. I'm like, and Nick starts laughing. No one's backing me up, obviously.
It was so funny.
I'm like, oh no, I was just trying to make a joke. And the guy was like, oh yeah, all right, you a Swiftie.
It was aggressive out of the gate.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm not coming from that concert, no. And the guy was just like, all right. And he walked away. I'm like, did I hurt him?
I came from Hoboken. I swear to God.
I'm not the reason why your is extended, okay? I'm not the reason why. I'm not the one.
Dude,
but I thought I was trying to make a funny joke, and it was really like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment for me. I was just like, oh, all right. It was like a very situational. I wasn't expecting that because he was nice to us, and all of a sudden he was like, oh, nah, that's you. I'm like, okay. It was quite the interesting night. We didn't get home till 2:00 in the morning.
Around 2, yeah.
Yeah, around 2. It wasn't bad, but like I thought it would have been much worse. It could have been. The train could have broken down, and we could have been stuck there.
I thought that at first. I thought that's why I'm just like, oh, great, because that happened to us in New York City once. And we were there for at least an hour and a half. That was the Penn Station. I was like, oh my God, is this happening again? Are we going to wait here for like an hour? This is the last one, of course, too. This is terrible. But no, it was just Taylor Swift that ruined everything. So now I have a new hatred for Taylor Swift. And we're going to watch Brokeback Mountain when we get in bed later on.
Yes, we will. Jake Gyllenhaal, Heath Ledger, 2 phenomenal people.
2 great ones. Yeah. 2 great ones. Want to watch Brothers, too? Brothers is a good movie.
We reenact it.
Yeah.
What I did? You know what I did to get back to you?
That is a very underrated movie.
Very crazy movie.
Oh, so it's pretty limited with topics. But I do have a story that just happened. I feel like everything happened to us in this weekend. My gym today, for some ungodly reason, decided to close at 1:00.
Oh wow!
Which doesn't make much sense because Memorial Day is not today. We're shooting on Sunday. Memorial Day is tomorrow. It makes sense if you have hours tomorrow, but that is what it was today. So I went to the gym at like 10 or something like that. After I worked out, I was just like, oh, you know what? I drank last night. I feel awful. Let me go sit in the sauna. I was just like a little thing, a little treat in life that I want. And I was like, all right, no problem. And when you walk to the sauna, it's a see-through like window door. And the moment that I look through it, somebody is on the ground doing push-ups.
In the sauna?
In the sauna. Doesn't end. This guy's doing push-ups, so I wait until like he stops doing what he's doing so he can move out of the way and I can go in there. So open the door, I go in there, and I'm sitting down. And the entire time he's like fidgeting, like he's moving around a lot. He's doing the push-ups again on the ground. It's not a big place, the sauna. It's not big. The fact that someone's getting on the ground doing push-ups, he was jumping on the things that you sit on too. I was like, I'm gonna die. And then all of a sudden I'm looking down at my phone, I have my AirPods in, and then he goes like this. He's like, I was like,
to you?
Yeah.
He touched you?
Like, just like next to me, like this. I was like, take it off. I was like, what's up? And he was just like, smile. Takes out his phone, goes like this, smiles, takes a picture with me, and puts it away. He's like, thank you. I said, what?
Did you consent to that? Imagine you went off on him and was like, I don't consent to this, sir. That's ballsy. That's ballsy.
why is it always? Why is it just weird shit? Like it's just that so strange.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to leave until he left, and I was just like waiting until he left. I was in there for like 20 minutes, and I texted you guys in a group chat too. It was like if I go missing with like nothing else, it was like if I go missing, just know that somebody in Gold's Gym got me.
And after you're in the sauna, you're gonna go to the mirror. You're gonna be like it's a movie scene. You're gonna look up, and it's gonna be like a cloth over your neck.
You know what's funny? It doesn't take a lot of energy to be normal.
No, it really doesn't.
It takes minuscule effort.
A lot of people
not bother people, walk around people, not take pictures of people in a sauna. That's number one probably. I was just so weird, but that just happened. So
I didn't have that experience at my gym today. It was actually pretty wild at my gym. You would think the world was ending. Many people. Number one, my sauna, which I was looking forward to detox from last night, but
drinking.
Yeah, literally. Everything was like closed, I guess, from Memorial Day weekend or whatever. So I guess like there are certain departments. I go to 24-hour fitness, so I guess certain areas of the members that they go to, or whatever the case may be, were like closing early. So it forced everybody kind of out on the floor, and it took a while to like get things situated.
When did they close?
I didn't ask, but it seemed like it was fairly soon.
It's Sunday though. I don't get Memorial Day. Sure. Why are you doing it on the weekends though? I don't understand why they're doing that. Yeah.
What gyms do you guys go to? I want to know about that. Maybe pop in for a cameo. You never know. We get a guest pass.
Oh God. Well, we only have like 2 pieces of like news that really happened this week. Not a lot of crazy stuff. I did just find something before we started rolling too that I can speak about as well.
Ooh.
But you got something on Paramount? Yeah.
Let me go to my notepad because I'm not prepared. Paramount is Oh gosh, yes. So Paramount. I'm having a stroke. Did you hear that? Paramount? Am I saying it right?
I can make a compilation of the amount of times that you think a word is a different word.
Yeah, variety over verity. I say verity.
You say verity?
I do, yeah. I don't know why I just do.
I don't think that's right.
Okay. Anyway, Paramount reportedly developing a G.I. Joe and Transformers crossover movie. You know...
Like 2 things I hate together.
I know. Number one, G.I. Joe, that live-action franchise, you remember it? I don't either because it was swept under the rug. It was John Cena in that? No.
Channing Tatum?
The Rock was in that. No. Oh, no.
Channing Tatum.
Was it?
No? Wasn't it? Snake Eyes. That was a movie, right? That no one saw?
Was G.I. Joe its own movie and then Snake Eyes came after it? Is in the same universe? I don't...
Dude, really good question. I don't know.
These are questions.
We kind of tackled this a little bit of like last week, too. No Ninja Turtles, no G.I. Joe, no Transformers. I hate all this.
Yeah, not for me, man. I'm just surprised that they sat in an executive like office or room, whatever the case is, and said, hey, we're going to take this idea and we're going to merge it with this idea.
2 things that don't really make much sense around it.
Yeah, G.I. Joe hasn't been spoken about since 2013. Whenever it came out, I don't even know.
You know, crossover movies are a thing because mainly a Marvel Universe because they're probably trying to like, you know, copy and see stuff.
You notice that? A lot of things now in the universe, whether it's TV shows, whether it's movies, whether it's franchises, a lot of things are merging together.
Do you want to know my favorite one that never became anything? What? Favorite being ironic because it's my hated one though. The Dark Universe with the Mummy with Tom Cruise. No, I hate it. I hate it.
Oh, you hate it? I was going to say because that also...
They were going to make The Invisible Man, and they were going to make a werewolf movie,
and
a Dracula movie, and they were all going to be together.
Are you serious? I never knew that.
Yeah. They had them all casted.
That's like almost Chucky, Freddy, Jason. They were all supposed to be originally all in one universe. Then each, Dimension Films and all these different...
they're owned by different people,
Yeah, and they weren't able to make they were going to call it the Monster Universe. And there are homages because in Bride of Chucky, there's a scene in the very beginning where it's in like a what do you call it? An evidence locker room, and they're taking out the cop went in there to take out the remains of Chucky because in part 3, because Bride of Chucky's part 4, he gets chopped into a fan, okay, like a fan at a amusement park. So the cop is getting the remains from the bag, and then in the locker next to that was a Michael Myers mask, a Freddy glove, and I think it was a Jason Voorhees mask, I believe. Don't quote me, but it's Michael Myers. So it's like, it's referencing, because back in 98, when they were filming that movie, the idea was to have all those movies merge into one universe, and then it never came to light because of all the different legal rights and different companies that owned it. Like right now, Friday the 13th is going on there's a legal battle between the copyrights for that. Crazy, the Mummy universe... The Dark Universe.
It was going to be called the Dark Universe.
Okay,
and there's even
mine was the Monster Universe. That's cool.
There was a composited picture of all the actors that were going to be in it. You ever see the Comic-Con pictures of all the actors next to each other and all like this and shit? That's what it was, and it was like Russell Crowe. It was like Johnny Depp was going to be the Invisible Man.
What?
Oh, this is all going to be something before. Tom Cruise is going to continue to be the mummy. I'm going to put the screaming.
Wasn't Brendan Fraser the Mummy?
In the better movies, correct. Well, actually, that wasn't the first set of those movies. They were in like the 50s at one point, and then they rebooted them.
That's like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm trying to make myself understand.
I will.
In the terminology that I know, that's like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies and Sony early on, Brendan Fraser's Mummy movies, and then like the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, and that's Tom Cruise's The Mummy movie. Is it like a rebooted franchise?
Yeah,
like he plays Brendan Fraser's character from the original.
I think I never watched the movie fully, only those bad clips and bad reviews of it. But that's the only thing I watched.
I think Brendan Fraser, Mummy, The Mummy Returns.
Well, I actually like those.
Me too.
He's good. The 1 and 2 with him really, really good.
Yeah.
Even he's been vocal about the last one that he was in, and he said it wasn't good. But the one with Tom Cruise is like unwatchable.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really bad. But apparently it's in the same universe.
Oh.
Of those Mummy movies, so it's kind of like a requel, I guess it would be, right?
That's what it would be. That's the same. That's what I'm thinking. A prequel.
Yeah, Brendan Fraser's like kind of spoken about for like a moment, but he's never shown.
So it's in the same universe.
The love for Brendan Fraser happened when that movie came out too, because people watched that movie, they're like, "This is terrible." The first one was so much better with the one in 2000s, and we need him back.
Makes you appreciate it a little bit more, because I guess when Brendan Fraser's came out, there was nothing to compare it to.
I know.
So I guess that's why. It was never my thing too. It reminds me, like, because that Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser came out when From Dusk Till Dawn was out with George Clooney, Tarantino.
It's a very good movie. I like that one.
Yeah, there's like 3 of them too. I never knew that.
What's in Mexico? Mexicans. That is the funniest scene ever.
That was a good movie. That was a good cast too. George Clooney, young George Clooney too, was in that.
Can't beat it. Love the Ocean's movies.
I want to get an espresso machine. It's his company.
Nespresso, right?
Is it called Nespresso?
It's Nespresso, yeah.
I don't really go all the tongue well.
He's got tequila too.
Does he?
The one you get. Casamigos. He owns it. He owns it, yeah. I'm like pretty sure he owns it. You know, I'm saying a claim that I don't know fully, but I saw him on a poster. George Clooney.
Are you serious right now?
Tequila.
I have been funding George Clooney subconsciously this entire time.
Casamigos, I am right.
No way!
Okay, yeah. So, Casamigos is an American tequila founded by George Clooney.
No wonder it tastes so darn good.
I don't think it's owned by him anymore, but he did.
Did he sell the company?
He founded it, yeah. I think he sold. It's saying that in 2017 he sold it. He sold it for $1 billion.
He's ready to.
Oh my god!
Imagine that.
It's good tequila. I like this tequila a lot.
I don't like the yellow tequila.
The yellow.
Is that Blanco?
Yeah, and then there's a darker one, there's
like
a light one, and then there's a yellow looking one.
I'm a light kind of guy. One time they gave me, because they didn't even ask me, they never asked me. Normally when I say Casamigos, they gave me the light one wherever I go. So when I found out there was different like versions of it, you go to a nice Mexican authentic restaurant, like we went for our friend Candace's birthday. No, was it my birthday or your?
Viva la Margarita?
Yes.
Viva la Margarita.
I am Jose Mourinho.
In Hackensack. They asked me, "Oh, do you want Blanco or do you want this?" And I'm like, "There's different. I've never gone because I've always gone. I guess
chocolate. Chocolate.
Okay. But yeah, I tried the yellow one and it just did not sit well with me.
No.
Light liquor all the way.
That's how it is. Well, is there anything else on that other piece of news that we covered about the G.I. Joe?
Yeah, you put something down here too. The Flash show.
So I don't know. So before I go into this, have you ever watched The Flash?
I watched it when you were watching it. So I only watched the first, I think, 2 or 3 seasons. Then when you said it got bad, I stopped because I wasn't trying to waste my time.
And how long ago was that?
I
said that. Like just in your mind, do you remember the last time I said like
8 years ago?
Okay, so this show has been on since 2014 and just ended with their season 9 finale.
Ugh.
Dude, it just became unwatchable. It's almost like a Smallville situation, but Smallville was good.
Mm.
You know, you've seen all of Smallville, right? Or most of it, probably.
I have, yeah. I actually have them all on DVD. DVD.
But The Flash show, a lot of people are not happy on the way that everything ended, which makes sense. The entire season was
Were people happy?
jumbled.
after season 3.
I wasn't. I haven't watched.
Like hearing that
5.
they haven't been happy with the finale, like I haven't been happy for the last like 5-6 years with the show. That's me. So.
Well, the Arrowverse too. Have you ever watched any of the shows in the Arrowverse?
Oh yes, I have. Yeah.
You watch Arrow?
Yep. Arrow.
Legends of Tomorrow. Supergirl.
Yeah.
Batwoman.
They tried really hard.
They really pushed it.
I feel like they lacked originality and just the casting. There's no chemistry.
The acting in CW shows, man.
Yeah.
It's just rough.
Yeah. Even Supernatural, when that's a CW. I know it's like going off, but it's a CW show.
Yeah.
The early seasons, phenomenal. Toward the end, it was 15 seasons. Again, I feel like it had. I'm going to call it the CW curse. We've talked about that before. Something happens, whether it's like filming versus post. I don't know. Like something happens with the chemistry, the people, the story. Something. It looks a little cheap. Okay, it got a little cheap.
And I watched clips of, and I will put up clips of the season finale of Flash, man.
I haven't even seen it yet. So
I think I've sent you memes of like them like fighting with lightning, and stuff like that.
It's
unwatchable. And you look at it and you're like,
from the finale?
Who made this? Well, that's just like some of the stuff, and that was like in the later seasons. But like in the finale, like it's rough. It is rough to look at.
Yeah,
the CGI of them like running back and forth
really
and everything.
Feel like I heard it could be wrong. This is going to be another side discussion we'll talk about a little bit later about Flash. I heard that he's not in Flash. Originally, he was a part, the guy who plays the Flash in the CW show.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Grant Gustin.
He was supposed to be in the Flash, and I don't know whether he filmed scenes for the movie and they didn't use him for time. But I heard that the idea of his Flash coming into that movie in Ezra Miller's The Flash movie, it was talked about, but I don't know whether or not it got to filming because of how the original cut to the Flash movie is 4 hours long or 4.5 hours long. It's now 2 hours and 30 minutes, the final cut that's coming out in a few weeks, which we're also going to do a review on as well.
I'm so excited. We got tickets.
We're going to do, we got tickets.
We got tickets.
Nick, you're very on target with that. I got a text message at like, what was it, like 8:30
The moment that they went on sale.
You texted me like, Justin, it's on. I'm like, what's on? I'm like, what the stove? Did I leave? What did I leave on again? And he was like, no, the Flash tickets, they're on sale. I was like, oh god, you're like, did you get like notifications? Or you just like spur of the moment?
I got really lucky on Instagram. Someone said like, and I saw it like 20-minute mark of it saying like Flash tickets are now on sale. I'm like, I'm buying them.
We're gonna do a separate episode also on the Flash specifically. Before going into it, we're going to just do a theory, because we did that with Guardian. We talked about it, I think, episode 2 of what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah, we did.
And then episode 3, we actually filmed the post of us watching it. So we're going to do the same thing with Flash. So we're going to film our theories before going into the movie, and then we're going to film a spoiler review that we'll release later on.
There's so many rumors, there's so many things out there. It's funny that you say that thing about Grant almost being in the movie before too, because Ezra was in an episode of The Flash.
That's what I'm saying.
So it makes sense.
You know what? Let me tell you something. With what we just spoke about with the whole Flash situation, the show, CW, that man who played the Flash in the show,
give him credit, man.
He carried that show to the best that he could for 9 whole years, if not maybe 10 years.
184 episodes. And he's a good actor.
He is.
He's a very good actor. Everything in that show sucks, besides him.
I really feel like it's like a job. Corporate perspective, I'm just giving it should be like, ooh, okay, like, your department, the Flash show, it's doing poorly, but you're a great actor, aka you're a great worker. We're going to move you in to the DCEU.
Well, that was rumors a while ago. I remember
I feel like if they're not doing that, it's kind of like, ooh, yeah, okay, well, layoffs are happening and you're not making the cut. That's how the corporate world, 9-to-5er in me, is viewing him. And I honestly hope they do something for him, because he would, with all the merging going on, I think he'd be better off in the movie. If he had a better writer, a better director, a bigger budget, a non-cheap looking budget.
Oh God,
he'd be, I think, set. He would probably outshine Ezra Miller. I'm just saying.
We could dive in once we actually see the movie of Ezra Miller and everything in that. But he did recently come out. Grant did say that he wants nothing to do with playing the Flash in the future. After 10 years of being in tights,
especially 10 years of just.
You know how bad their schedules are too, CW schedules?
Yes, I was going to just say that.
16-hour days.
Yeah, well, it's
10
crazy.
months out of the year. That's hell.
Going back to Supernatural, because I watch a lot of behind the scenes on that. So, toward, I think, the last 2 seasons. Now, Supernatural always ran for either 24 or 23 episodes. The last 2 seasons, seasons 14 and 15, I think there were only 19 or 20 episodes. They came out and said, being CW for the last 15 years, they had such a different schedule while filming only 19 or 20 versus 23 or 24 because that's an extra like 3 months.
Of course.
So they got an extra 3 months taken off their schedule. And it's like, oh, I love, like a lot of them are like, we're so relieved they got to spend time with family again.
Oh, you're away. You're away for months.
Only off of like skimming off of 3 or 4 episodes. A lot of time goes into that.
I heard this one thing before. There was a character in The Flash. The last thing I'll say about this too, just to really encapsulate everything with the CW and everything. There was an actor in The Flash. His character was Cisco. I don't know if you watched an episode with him, the guy with the long hair.
Yeah, he was very big in the earlier seasons.
In the earlier seasons, then he left and everything. But there was an episode where actually Kevin Smith directed an episode of The Flash.
Really?
And they had like a big heart-to-heart, he said once, and he was just like, so how do you like being a part of The Flash and everything? Like, being an actor on here and everything. And he was like, to be honest, I think his mindset is very much like us, where you're just like, what's the why factor? Why am I doing all this stuff and everything? He was just like, well, the money's good. It's a good gig. It's a good job and everything. But like, I spent 10 years basically in Vancouver. My 20s are gone. Like 10 months out of the year, you're almost 20-hour days sometimes too. Stuff like that. And when you have like, a crazy schedule like that, like CW, like you can never blame the actors for this stuff. That's like the biggest thing with it. No. CW's model is like slavery basically. You get paid well, but at what cost with the time?
Yeah, that's a really good point you're bringing up too with the whole not blaming the actor per se. Because think about it this way, right? It's like you're driving, let's just say you buy a car off a lot, right? I'm just going off of just where my mind's going right now, right? You're not a mechanic, unless you are, but in this case, you're not a mechanic. You get a car, you're driving it on the highway, you're just driving the car, okay? And it breaks down and you go into a divider, okay? You're not a mechanic. You didn't make that car, but yet people on the side of the road are going to be looking at you and being like, oh, that's a bad driver.
Oh, the insurance companies will blame you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a great point. I wasn't even going there, but that's actually a better point I'm making.
Just my insurance went up.
It's not my fault. I'm not a mechanic. I didn't look at my car. I shouldn't have to look at my car. Then again, actors, they don't really have creative decision making when they're acting. They're given a script. They're like, oh, hey, we're going to shoot this 10 times. Give them an example. We did revisions. We're going to do this. And then whatever gets used in the final cut, they don't get to, I'm sure, like, for example, I'm sure Grant agrees with the whole CGI looking mess.
I'm sure he does.
Anybody would.
No, it's not good. And I think the CW ending all their shows currently right now, and a lot of the DC shows like Titans and Doom Patrol was good, but like Titans is ending and all. I think it's a really, really good time to end all that stuff when James Gunn is coming in too and just start fresh again too. Boop. The neatest thing on. And that's Grip the Flash.
The coffee, man.
No,
sorry. Ooh, we didn't even get to comment on our coffees today. We didn't do that yet. That's okay.
You can throw it in the beginning.
We got, as a joke, but actually, low-key is good. It tastes like a blueberry muffin. I got Dunkin' Donuts.
Tell me the recipe.
It's funny because Nick got us the coffees before coming to my house today to film. And he goes, how do I say your Dunkin' order? Because we're so used to just saying black iced coffee. So I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling a little bougie today. I really was. And I normally get a Dunkin' because you can't get this at Starbucks because they don't have the shots. Let's talk about that real quick before we go into anything else. Okay, Starbucks, they used to have sugar-free, a lot of options for sugar-free over the years, okay? They now only have sugar-free vanilla. That's it.
I like vanilla.
Versus Dunkin', like, if there have been times, and I'm just probably speaking a lot about my character, I've gone to Dunkin' and I've gotten like a breakfast sandwich because I do prefer Dunkin's food over Starbucks' food. Agree to disagree.
I haven't had it Dunkin' in a really long time. They had a power sandwich.
They just started.
That one was good. Remember that? I think
yes.
You had that
the multigrain one. Yes, that's actually really good macros.
Good.
They just released a English muffin with turkey sausage and egg.
Okay.
But I get it. I customize it and I get it with no cheese because it's American cheese. And I get no English muffin, so it's really good macros. Without all that excess stuff, it's really good, like a nice protein snack. I tried it the other day. I give it a solid 7 out of 10.
I walked in there too. They have this stupid thing too. I think it's like very much like Starbucks now. They're trying to follow them too. A lemon loaf. You ever see the things like little cakes? Yeah, at Dunkin'. Yeah, it was like on the screen in front of me. Yeah, wow. I was like, oh.
Yeah, definitely. You can see a lot of things are going on behind the scenes of like we got to look at our competitors and see what the hell.
They changed their entire thing. They have the taps now and everything. They changed everything.
Oh yeah, you can go to going back to it. So
your order.
Yeah. So Nick's just like, do I say it exactly like that? And I give him this. You got to say it a specific way because, like I said prior with Starbucks and Dunkin', our discussion a couple episodes ago, you go to any Dunkin' Donuts. Again, they're going to make it different every single time. This today actually tastes really good. It's light. I can tell they didn't put a lot of almond milk in it, but basically my order at Dunkin'...
I said it very slow.
Yeah. My order at Dunkin' is a splash of almond milk, okay? Or you can tell them in numbers, because sometimes the numbers, you have to say 1 or 2.
I did get confused because you put 2 in parentheses.
Yes.
So I'm like, 2. And I was just staring, and I guess you just understood what it meant. I didn't know if she was going to be like...
It's the lingo.
What if she was just like, oh, a spoonful? Oh, like a scoop? A splash? What? Like,
it's
I
not
thought
the
it was going to be that.
It's not...
When you tell someone 2, they're going to be like, 2 of what?
From what I've seen, because I always like to examine my barista, wherever I may go, whether it's Gregory, wherever we go, whether it's Gregory's or anywhere.
You examine the person?
I examine the person because, for example, what I've noticed with... Stop it. It's my coffee. I gotta, you don't mess with a person's coffee, okay? It's true. Sometimes I like to spruce it up. Sometimes I get black coffee with a shot of sugar-free something in it. But today I was feeling, the combo with almond milk they use at Dunkin', and the blueberry shots, which are sugar-free.
We'll put it up here if anybody wants to take it.
It tastes like a blueberry muffin, and it's sugar-free.
This black coffee.
Whatever sugar you're getting from the almond milk, sometimes, some places use unsweetened almond milk, some places don't. The consistency issue is my problem. You want to go to the one place with the same order.
Oh, well, this is the reason why, too. Dunkin's are franchised. A lot of this stuff, maybe, you have a set thing of things you're supposed to get, ingredients safe, and like stuff like that, but maybe some of them just don't follow that. But Starbucks, different story. As we tackled before too, Starbucks, it's all the time, same consistency. Because that's corporate. That's corporately
100%.
owned. Them, they're more franchised. So that's probably why it varies a lot.
And I'm also waiting on Starbucks, okay? They announced, I don't know whether this is officially announced by their camp. I don't know. But I'm waiting for their little balls of ice. Where is that? What locations? They already said they started out rolling its locations. Is it in New Jersey? If anyone knows, comment on this podcast somehow, some way.
Oh, God. Oh, that's what we just had 2 pieces of news, I guess.
We did.
That was it. And
door, sorry. Alrighty, so we touched on a lot of things for episode 5 today, right? We didn't even have a lot of information, like you said.
No, we just run on a tangent for a while.
I'm on a tangent.
Yeah,
Beauty behind us.
Some good stories, some limited news. So that was good. Yeah, thank God for Dunkin', am I right?
Huh. Who would ever think we'd say that?
Before the Flash.
Definitely. That's going to be another...
That's in about 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, about 2-3 weeks tops. We'll do
we're also
a before and after.
Yeah. As you said, too, we're going to do a separate video with a poll situation that we did on Instagram.
Yeah. So I did this on my personal page just because our Dynamic Brew page, it's still building up traction. Over time, we're going to start doing interactive discussions for people to kind of comment on that. But I just thought for today, and being that where we are, and actually, we got a lot of information on that, which is different polls for different kind of movies, sequels, remakes, etc. What people prefer, what percentages. So we're gonna go over all that and more in a couple episodes out.
That's like a video in itself, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be. That's a whole episode itself. We have a lot to talk about because we're gonna comment on what we agree with and what our percentages that we see from other people. So it's gonna be neat. It's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be cool. But this is wrapping up episode 5.
Episode 5.
Bingo.
Yeah, buddy. Don't sue me.